You just have to answer about 12 questions, and we have the technology to pretty much be able to spit out all the information and all of the measures needed to make and build a perfect suit for you. We had the chance to learn about what our customers really wanted. They wanted quality, they wanted speed, they wanted precision, and they wanted affordability.
Good evening and welcome to POP TV, powered by POP TikR. Hope you guys are having a great time. We are so excited to bring another amazing Canadian brand straight out of Montreal, Quebec, menswear, custom suits and custom shirts. We have Suitablee here live with us, and we're going to bring up JS, founder, in 2, 1, bang. JS, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Well, we are so excited. I mean, you have such a cool brand. I've never seen a brand that leverages technology the way you do.
I appreciate that. I think one of the things that make us interesting in the whole, in the new world is our ability to sort of put technology and fashion at the forefront.
I really love it. I mean, it's an amazing story. So, I mean, I love this. I caught this on your website. So, launched in October 2015. I see here on your website, no office, no website, no grants or startup money, just pure grind, guts, and glory as you guys head towards over 20,000 and growing followers on Instagram. So, tell us more about how you guys got started in the men's design wear.
You know what? It's funny when you grow up, you never sort of imagine, because of the changing world, where you're going to end up. I actually studied in engineering, and my co-founder also studied in engineering. Very traditional backgrounds, and I think our parents had something planned for us, and things panned out the other way. One of the things that we did as engineers when we were younger was do a lot of traveling, a lot of consulting, and trends such as custom suiting was quite popular whenever you went to Europe and South America and Asia as well. And unfortunately, it was very hard for us to find anything that made sense for people around Canada. Anytime you would need to get suited up, the process was extremely complicated. You'd have to go 3, 4 times to make up for inefficiencies. And then I think one of the hardest parts out of custom suiting was the fact that price-wise, you've really limited, or you've marketed yourself out of being able to serve a majority of the population. So our objective in starting this company was, three things. One, to make things affordable. Two, to incorporate technology and be as efficient as possible. And then three, obviously, to serve the need of having, amazingly, stylish, but at the same time, custom, where our customers are the designers.
I love it. And it's an interesting thing that you bring about travel, because in some of the countries overseas, it's so natural. I mean, getting a custom suit isn't, how do you say, a very niche thing, right? My parents are from India. I mean, all our suits are custom, the women and the men, right? Whatever dress you're getting made. And so that's really cool that you're bringing sort of the custom design out to the masses and, making it affordable. And actually, that's what I really love about what your brand Suitablee is all about. I really noted how, and I guess this is part of your engineering background, the foundation is really in efficiency, right? So that you can bring, affordable pricing to your customers.
That's exactly right. And so one of the things that was clear to us is that the majority of cost that goes into making a custom suit is involved in all of the labor, but at the same time, all of the guesswork. So your typical or traditional tailor is pretty much guessing, 80% of the time. Once they take 15 manual measurements, it's actually quite complicated to make a suit. And so you're not taking into account curvatures, you're not taking into account specific postures and very specific angles of things that you need to look at. And so the approach of making a suit was really one where, how do you build a plane? There has to be more than just 15 specifications. We have to be able to look at this sort of through the lens of a mathematician, the lens of a professional engineer, a mechanical engineer, and see how is it that we're going to cut fabric and how is it that we're going to put it together within as little iterations as possible, with a minimal amount of corrections, so that we make the process as efficient as possible and thus as affordable as possible. And so what we did was we've developed, we collected, thousands of data points. I would say millions of different ways to take measurements, um, or different ways of collecting data. And we figured out at the beginning that, infrared scanners were very beneficial to us. We were able to take a lot of data and not have to book, repetitive appointments with our customers to correct issues. And so that being said, after we've collected some of that data, we were able to then migrate a lot of that information and knowledge through our artificial intelligence systems, so that our customers are now able to not only measure themselves on our website, but a lot of our customers across North America can now answer 12 to 14 questions on our website, and we're able to spit out thousands of data points based on all of the customers that we fitted in the past.
That's so amazing. I mean, Canada, you gotta check it out. I've never seen anything like it. I'm seriously super excited to go into the demo later. But I wanted to bring up, I mean, you guys have been dressing some really cool people. And here's one of our friends, JP Chan, straight out of One Championship MMA Fighting. So tell us more about the relationship and how he got involved with your brand and getting custom suits.
Yeah, no, it's a really great question. I think anytime we partner with somebody, we're extremely selective, and I think it was the same for Jeff as well. Not only do you have to sort of fit, your ethics code and your brand and your vision for things, but at the same time, the demographic. And so Jeff is an international fighter, and he fights across the world, and so that he I believe that, partnering with a brand that's able to serve somebody, whether you're in Vancouver or whether you're in Toronto or Montreal, or he's got a lot of followers on the west coast of the United States. I think that was something that was extremely important for him, because I think one of the things that, as an athlete or as a professional or somebody that has some sort of influence, you don't want to be necessarily promoting something that would not be accessible to a large amount of people that follow you. So he had to. I think it's something that remains relevant, and our ability to serve a customer, in Vancouver as much as a customer in Ottawa, was something that attracted, both sides. And I believe that a lot of his followers are extremely passionate about a lot of the things that he does, and so. Being in the industry where, they have unique body types and whatnot, I think that it was a perfect fit.
No, I think it's great. And actually, so he used to teach at the dojo I go to at BMAC. So it was really nice. I mean, Jeff is such a stellar, he mentors the younger students and, the discipline that he has. I mean, that's why he's, where he is at today. Great guy. And so again, you bring up a really good point in terms of, humans, we all recognize whether you're female or male, we come in all shapes and all sizes. So it's really frustrating sometimes when you go to a store, like I have, incredibly long arms, and sometimes, I'm like finding, shirts that don't reach the end of my wrist. So when you're talking about, just human bodies in general, being able to get custom fit clothing at an affordable price is really, really awesome. So I think, Canadian athletes, NHL, NBA players, that's why custom suits is really important for that group.
It's a great point. I think one of the things that with this world of social media and differentiating yourself, and now, with COVID, unfortunately, people having to be at home, um, shopping has become a little bit more complex. And so locally in Montreal, we still offer contactless measuring because of our technology. So that's been, a very good thing on that end. And obviously, we never hope, any disasters like what's been happening on the health front. But at the same time, as a company, we were ready for it, and we sort of pivoted pretty quickly, to adapt to it. Now, that being said, social media has become stronger in creating personal brands, and so being able to get something that's custom, not only from a fit perspective, but from a fabric slash style perspective, that's been very important for a lot of people that use social media as a way to differentiate their personal brands.
Yeah, and actually, that's a really good point because I mean, you offer fabric selection, right, to your customers. I mean, literally, a customer can go in and build their own suit, right? Not just from the measurement, but actually colors and textures and fabrics, which is actually another really good point. So a lot of people don't know I actually have sensitivity to certain fabrics. So it's been a pain sometimes where I mean, it was a trial and error process where I'd buy something and I'd get like a skin rash, and I realized that it was allergic to polyester. I had a reaction on me. So actually, that's pretty cool that your customers would have that level of customization where they can pick up fabrics.
Yeah, no, exactly. And we've we scour suppliers across the world to find great fabrics, whether wool, whether silk or cashmere and so forth. And so, being able to provide, quality fabrics at an affordable price, not much more expensive than what you would normally find off the rack, is an extreme benefit for a lot of people across Canada and the US where we currently sell. And so, being able to have that one piece that nobody else in the world has, I think is sort of cool.
That is cool. Looking dapper, right?
That's exactly right.
I
Yeah.
actually got suited up in a business shirt too, just for this interview.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right, sounds good, JS. Love it. So I guess we can get ready. I think our viewers are super stoked to get a demo firsthand.
Yeah, so here's this demo is one part of our technology. So what we're going to be showing you is pretty much what happens when we're measuring somebody locally and collect, and at the same time it gives us an opportunity to add more data into our database. But what the more that we do this, the more our system learns, and the more that the fits that we provide to our customers across North America is improved. So what you're going to see is pretty much it's an infrared scanner, and we pretty much do a 360 around a person, and at that point we're pretty much collecting thousands of data points, curvatures, and things, so that when we do build a suit, thousands of specifications are given, and so it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool. It's like having a personal seamstress.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. Look forward to it.
absolutely. So just keeping a note, I'm going to do a 360-degree sort of rotation around Jeremy here, and we're going to be able to pretty much get a 3D model of his body, and that's what we use to pretty much measure and collect data for our artificially intelligent systems. So I'm just going to start here. So you're going to basically see here that we're pretty much, taking a 3D model of Jeremy, and this we have to run this a few times so that it sort of like gets better, but it's a way to collect a perfectly 3D sort of model of his body. Once this goes into our database, we run some analytical calculations around what comes out. Obviously, we recommend that the clothing is a lot more the clothing is a lot more tight, so that we're able to get as much data as possible, and through that we're able to get all types of angles.
That is so cool. So you're able to do that in real time.
Yeah, so once it's in our cloud, that's when the magic happens, and we're able to spit out thousands of measurements there.
That's amazing. Really cool. Thank you for that live demo.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, really, really neat. So, yeah, I mean, AI, I mean, Montreal has been, noted about the booming AI technology that's coming out of Montreal. I mean, it's amazing to see. I mean, your brand's been written up by Yahoo Finance, National Post, Canada, what was it? Canada.com, sorry, and Apple News. So that's really, really cool. And I can see why. I don't think I've ever seen a technology like this before for custom shirts and men's suits.
Yeah, no, I think we're definitely, and we continue to be, we try to be at the forefront of the integration of technology and fashion. And one thing is that uh, I wasn't a great engineer, and I don't think that Jeremy, so the person I was scanning was my brother, who's my business partner. We never considered ourselves great engineers, but you just never know where necessary in order to create this type of business.
That's really, really cool. I mean, I think that's really interesting because a lot of people, feel that, can I change? Can I go into a different career? And I think it's absolutely possible. It's cool to remain fluid and pursue. You never know what's going to happen next, right?
Nothing is ever lost. Nothing, if ever you've felt like you've been doing a job for a year or two and you're wasting your time, it's never lost. The experience, the knowledge that you gain is just going to come back and help you out some way or somehow in the future.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. So, the other thing I want to talk about is how are you guys doing? I know with COVID-19 and the pandemic, a lot of events have been canceled. I mean, yourself being in the industry of men's, custom design suits, how, as a local business, are you, coping?
Well, there's two ways to look at this. One way is you look at it and say, well, we're not doing as much business as we should be. The other way is also, um, the issues that you have or the strengths that you have uh, will tend to stick out or be accentuated during times like this. And what we've realized, during this period is that we have a lot of things that are very hard to compete against. Our online capabilities, our technology, very hard to compete against. And at the same time, some of the things that we would like to be better at, we sort of realize as well in terms of the reach and in terms of our marketing. Those are the times that we're able to focus and get better at some of those things. I would say that overall, our online sales are really booming compared to where we were last year, so that's a very good thing. But at the same time, I think a lot of businesses or retail in general, the fact that events, for example, are canceled and people are staying at home and not necessarily having to wear formal wear, that's definitely had an impact on business on a negative side. So, you know, weddings being pushed back to next year, there haven't been many cancellations. People have just been postponing their things. So we expect things to slowly come back and eventually come back once we get a grip on what's happening. And hopefully the pent up demand is going to show up in our sales when it comes to things like weddings and people going to work and, event after office, you know, yeah, happy hour, or how we say it here in Quebec, 5 à 7.
Thank you.
So yeah, so things are, we're expecting things to just come back to normal. In the meantime, we're continuing on improving on what we can do better and taking advantage of what our strengths are. And we're all in this together.
Absolutely. And that's what, our initiative is all about, is to spotlight the incredible, Canadian brands that we have here. There's so much talent, so much skills. And what I love so much about local businesses is that in the time of need, they are the first to step up. And I'd like to actually thank you and your company, Suitablee, for stepping up. When the pandemic first started and there was a real shortage of face masks. I mean, you guys, tell us more about that. You were supplying face masks and sending the profits to a really great cause.
Yeah, I think one of the things that Jeremy and I, discussed at the beginning was how do we give back to society, and how do we make sure that we're able to provide some sort of benefit to our country, for everything that that Canada has given us in general. And so we said, well, rather than our focus has always been suits and we'll continue to make a profit off our formal wear. How do we give back and how do we make sure that we can do something and use our capabilities and our extra, let's say, extra workers to be able to provide and do something good. Well, we said let's make face masks. We don't have to turn a profit. We can give all the proceeds to Canada Helps, which is an organization that provides special help or PPE to hospitals and so forth. And so we said let's make these face masks and donate the proceeds to Canada Helps. And so we've been doing that. People have been very supportive of it, because I think on another end, people have been making masks to turn a huge profit, which is fine. You have to do what you have to do in these moments. But we decided, let's give back to society. And so we did that.
I love that. I think that is so amazing. And we see, recent stats coming up about that. When you spend locally, you spend your dollars locally. I mean, you invest that back into the community. And this is
Absolutely.
a prime example of that. So thank you, Suitably, for what you're doing in the community. So JS, another thing I saw on your site, again, incredible variety of suits. I love it. Your company has dressed a number of different, events, different, I'll bring a picture up right now. I mean, look at these fine, dapper suits, all dressed up for a formal event. So tell us more about some of the events you get involved in.
Yeah, well, this is, right here, there's some graduates or future graduates of, law of, law students in University of Montreal. And so we work with a lot of, and we started grassroots. So true to what you were saying earlier, we started a lot with younger folks in schools and working on programs with them, sort of at the beginning, and we still remain involved in those things. So this was a fashion show that was organized by their committee that we helped to sponsor, and so we had our suits worn by a lot of we had our custom suits made for a lot of their graduates.
Oh, they look fine. Great job. Great job. And so, for all the Canadians watching from coast to coast to coast, if they would love to get their hands on a custom suit by Suitablee, how could they find you? What do they do?
That's a great question. So we're extremely responsive through our social media. So if ever you're curious about what we do, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. And one thing that, the easiest way to access or have a look at what we do is through our website. So suitablee.com. You're able to purchase suits, whether in a fixed size, whether if somebody measures you, or also whether somebody you're able to answer, 12 or so questions about yourself, so your height, your weight, your type of shoulders, the shape of your chest, the shape of your stomach, and so forth. We're able to spit out a lot of that data. And so you're able to do that and also customize and design your suit. All of that can be seen on suitablee.com.
Awesome. And once the pandemic lifts, and where could they actually come visit you if they're close by to Montreal, your
Yeah,
head
well,
office?
we're still taking appointments locally in Montreal with our people that want the in-store experience. So we can be seen in Montreal. We do and we are we were planning and we will be doing it some trunk shows across Canada. So we would be announcing those on our website where we'd say, hey, we're coming to Toronto, get fitted, come see our collection. We'll measure you, and maybe you can purchase on the spot, or you can also purchase in the future with your profile set up on our website.
Awesome. So I like to call all our viewers our super fans because they really believe in supporting local brands. So any last words to the fans out there?
Um, Thank you, first of all, for what you're doing. I think it's an extremely bold initiative. It's great what you're doing, and I think to your point, supporting local is extremely important. Um, I think that a lot of times we're gonna support, or we're gonna say I support this specific local company. At the same time, I would like to say, support things that you just see. Like you're walking out on the street, if you see a local company that you can support, go ahead and do it. Obviously, you have to look out for yourself first and make sure that you're still able to contribute in society. But at the same time, I think we all, as Canadians, have to do our part and help to support local restaurants, bars, retail, because at the end of the day, all that money gets pumped back into our system. So it's extremely important, and I applaud everything that you do.
Thank you so much, JS. That really means a lot. So there you go, Canada. If you haven't followed Suitablee yet, check them out. They're on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching Pop TV, powered by Pop TikR, and we'll see you same time, same place next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Take care, everybody, and have a good night.
Thank you.